All right, hey everyone, I am Andrew Melville, and for this semester's oral presentation, I'll be discussing constitutional rights within disaster policies and how the Constitution shapes these policies, which in turn shapes the way disaster relief organizations function and the way they're set up, all the way from the local level to the federal level. Now, after being in this class for some time and doing 3 case studies already, the one common thing that I've really noticed is that there are always people that complain in every situation, no matter what disaster it was, about the way that the government handled their response effort in each situation, whether it was handled from the federal level to, or whether it was handled by strictly by the local level. And some people complain more than others, but also not even with how the responses were being taken place, but how people were fed up with these organizations. In the first place, they were just fed up with the organizations in general, and that's one thing that I really noticed. Also, after taking some time to read over the Bill of Rights, the 10th Amendment, and I'll quote this as well, it says, "The power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people." Now, this pretty much gives local areas and average citizens the power to control basically their local lives, and this pretty much supports why the U.S. disaster system or response effort is structured from the bottom up. It starts with us. Now, although it does start with us from the local going up to the state level, the governor has the power to request federal aid from the president of the United States or from the federal government, and the president has to approve that request so that organizations like FEMA can come to whatever disaster-ridden area and provide their resources that are provided by the federal government. So this may seem like the reason why pretty much the response effort may be taken up as slow or maybe ineffective at times, but these same processes are in place for a reason, and being abreast and knowledgeable of these processes and how they came to be is a critical part of I think of our own psyche and how we kind of evaluate the response effort in a disaster period or whenever a disaster hits. So just expounding further a little bit on our psyche, I really truly think that knowing the history of the Constitution, and how the disaster response system has been set up, specifically written through the Constitution, and certain policies that have been enacted will basically allow everyday citizens to legitimately know their role in the disaster response process, and will mitigate any form of rash criticisms, or maybe give even more of a reason to criticize the government, whether it be state, local, federal, or whatever, on their response efforts. So I truly think that the Constitution, having knowledge of our Constitution, will ultimately provide a greater disaster response.